producer.
Hey. Look, this sacred days are coming soon. I'm just tired of waiting. And tears falling in my prayers. I've been crying for patience. I'm scarred. I gotta live the rest of my life with abrasions. You can't convince me that time isn't wasting. I feel like Hamilton the way I've been writing these pages. So you can call me, but you best be on time with the payments. So you can turn this off if you don't like what I'm saying. Or if these lines are too basic. Just know my life getting crazy. Times is getting harder, that could really spark an artist. And I ain't giving up for nothing, I just try my hardest. I say a prayer for the ones departed. A cold world, I just want to show how pure my heart is. But I see the comments, stories going around about the kid, but I'm so timeless, bad energy can't get to me. I'm the reason why we like this, allegedly. But once I see the best from you, that's when you get the best from me. I'm here for your elevation. Success ain't a destination. Ain't looking for reparations. Ain't looking for no type of savings. Stack up the rest of my savings. Can't get no rest in the basement. Can't even lie to you, baby. Time that we spent was amazing. Then I ain't trying to replace you. For you, my mind is still racing. I lost a step, but I'm coming back. I used to put my heart all on display, but I'm done with that. Tired of these bonds that pop easier than bubble wrap. In my notes, like a group of sick, you see a bunch of rap. In the studio, I box the beat is just a punching bag. And for the guys, let them know I love them back. For all of y'all endeavors, I'm wishing you good luck on that. Shout out Q for the beat. This one a groove for the streets. You say you down with me, baby. You gotta prove it to me.
Yo, we are live. We are live right now at Oddball Central right now. Let me get comfy real quick. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch right now. Elijah will be joining us very shortly. John is under the weather. Feel better very soon. Mr. Meyer, we'll see you soon. We are talking live on the NFL pod right now. Welcome back. Or hey, welcome if you're new in general. Feel free to show some love, support. Hit the subscribe button, hit notifications so you know when we go live or upload anything. Welcome back to Ball Central. Also, just a heads up, if you love listening to pods instead of watching pods, you can find us on all the audio platforms down below. As you can see right here, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Spotify for podcasters. So, hey, we're here to talk about the latest in the NFL, whether it's coaching hires, the divisional round of the NFL playoffs, which is now in the books, and the championship Sunday for the AFC and NFC championships between four really, really, really good teams. My Patriots, of course, and the Denver Broncos, who will be playing without Bo Nix, and the Seattle Seahawks, led by Sam Darnold, JSN, and others, versus the Rams, led by Matt Stafford, Puka, one of the greatest wide receivers in the league, and Devontae Adams and Kyron Williams. So, hey, we are here to talk about the latest. We are live right now, like I said, on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Tobias, yo, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it. How are you doing today? Let's see. Yeah, it's been a hectic week for the NFL. I think right now 4 NFL head coaching vacancies are filled, and they also got Mike McDaniels heading to the Chargers. So, yeah, busy. And also, like I said, a very, very great recap we have to come up with the, what's it called? The divisional round we have to talk about. Can I get rid of this? Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah. So, but before we get into that, I just wanted to talk about, just to buy Elijah some time before he gets here, Baller Central. Yeah, NFL season is winding down. We have, 2 weeks left? Next week is not really, it's a week off before the Super Bowl, so I think it's Pro Bowl week. And then, or NFL Honors. I forgot, do they actually do anything the week before the Super Bowl? I don't believe so, but we have 2 weeks left in the NFL season. So just a reminder, we also talk NBA/basketball if you want to listen to that after the NFL season is over. Since we usually talk about a lot of different things here on the Ball Central pod, we talk about NBA, NFL, sometimes MLB. We usually talk about college stuff when it's a March Madness season. So if you love college sports, feel free to stick around during the March Madness year, which I believe March Madness is almost around the corner. It's January, end of January. It's almost February, so that means March is right around the corner. So hey, if you love college sports, it's a great time to follow up. We also talk about WNBA sometimes, and we also talk about WWE. Since Unreal just came out, I just finished watching it. 5 great episodes, basically surrounding the Seth Rollins fake injury. See the women's match between Rhea and Io. How about no? How about no? Yeah, that was weird. So yeah, one of the weird things with going live is you can either get normal random comments like "yo" or "hi" or "how's your day going," or you can get comments which I just banned. So yeah, let's not try to be weird when we comment. I don't know. It's just basic human decency. Sorry about that. But yeah, Unreal was LA Knight was in the episode like a little bit. They talked about the Money in the Bank match. What else? Seth Rollins fake injury. They also did the Asan, how you doing? Thank you for tuning in. Yo to you too. Lyra Becky feud. They covered that, which Bayley was part of. What else did they cover? They covered a little bit of John Cena and Cody Rhodes match. They covered basically the main stars of this season 2 was Lyra, Becky, Seth, and I believe Rhea and Io. Well, not very much a Rhea, but it's more Io. So yeah, very, 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 very good 5 episodes. Hey, thank you. Oh, I like your profile picture. Cool as well. Appreciate the compliment. See, but yeah, we're here to talk about the NFL. That was a little bit of an opening. I'm just trying to buy Elijah a little bit more time before he pulls up. Actually, do I need to? Let me see if I need to invite. Hold on. I'm gonna go. Okay. Oh wait, never mind. I don't have to send an invite. Let's see. Boom, boom. Okay. So yeah, that was just a little bit of the Unreal. Good thing I said it before Elijah joined, because I know he wanted to watch it, so I didn't say too much info about it. Let's see. Oh, no camera this time.
I listen. I don't know what to tell you.
2 days. They can't make 2 days in a row was good enough, I guess. I said 3 days in a row. Nope, that's too much asking for us. But yeah, I was doing a little bit of a random intro, just talking about random stuff in the Unreal season 2 stuff. So yeah, not too much. I didn't go into any NFL yet. Just do the intro.
Okay, I still haven't watched it yet. Yeah, I've actually been watching Royal Rumbles since 2020.
You know what's funny? My little brother and them watching it as well.
Yeah, I kind of just miss the I miss full-time Roman, so I'm not gonna lie. I've been watching a little bit of that. That's all I got. That's all I've been watching recently.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, you gotta enjoy them while they are full-time, because as they get older, if they're big enough stars, they're gonna be taking time off to do films and TV shows.
Yep. But anyway, let's get into it, man.
Okay. So yeah, the intros. Do you want to get into the NFL coaching updates, or do we want to get to the divisional round?
We could talk about the coaching.
Okay. So I believe since we last left off, I think it was just John Harbaugh that got hired as a coach for the Giants. That officially got pen to ink. That's official now.
Yeah,
5-year deal, $100 million. So
we didn't talk about Mike McDaniel going to the Chargers. We didn't talk about that.
Yep.
Did not talk about Stefanski going to the Falcons, which
the Giants were the only head coaching one. So let's get into, honestly, I want to talk about the Dolphins first, because that was one of the weirdest signings, because everything else kind of made sense.
Right.
Yeah, the Dolphins signed former Packers DC Jeff Hafley to a contract, and he will be replacing Mike McDaniels. Now, honestly, I don't know too much about this guy. I know he was a former NCAA coach. I forgot where though, but yeah, I'm guessing they were one of the teams that struck out on Mr. Harbaugh and didn't have much of a backup plan, so they went with Mr. Halfley. So this one weird, like maybe like a C plus signing. I don't know too much about the guy, so I can't give it a good grade to be honest.
I mean, I don't know much about Halfley to be able to sit here and give a grade either. So, we'll see what happens. I think that the Dolphins made the right move in going from an offensive mind to a defensive mind, but at the same time, I don't know who their OC is, or if they don't have one, I don't know who he's going to be. They need to just figure out what direction they're going to go at quarterback, which I think they already know by now.
Yeah.
But see what happens.
Yep. Next up, Titans Robert Saleh. They signed him to a 5-year deal as well, and I believe they said if Mr. O'Dayball does not go for the Bills head coaching job, he will be their OC. So we'll see what happens with there. But honestly, I'm not too happy about this pick or don't like this pick a lot, just because honestly he's a defensive minded head coach, and that's going to be a little bit. I'm a little bit worried about that for Cam Ward's sake, unless they get a good OC like Dayball. But yeah, I wasn't so sure why they got him. But I mean, we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, I don't like the signing personally. Without a great OC, I just don't think he could do much good for the Titans.
Okay. I think being a Jets fan, like I had Robert Saleh as my coach right before Aaron Glenn. I'm not that against Robert Saleh being another head coach. I don't think that the Jets were the right organization for him. I don't think the Jets were the right organization for anybody for real. It's rough over here. So that's all I can say about it. Hope it works out for Robert this time, but I do see him ending up back as a coordinator pretty soon. I don't know. This Titans team is as bad as the Jets are. This Titans team is just not good. So,
all right, and then I don't know how it's going to help with the development of Cam Ward. So young QB, you got a defensive minded head coach. We will see how that works out. Then next up, I believe the only other head coaching job that was signed was the Atlanta Falcons. They signed Kevin Stefanski, and they also bring in, I believe, the Browns OC Tommy Rees as well.
mm-hmm.
So they got Stefanski and Rees, both on the Browns, joining the Falcons. And honestly, I like this pick. I think besides what happened with Mr. Shedeur Sanders and Stefanski, I believe he was the second best coach besides Harbaugh on the market, and the Falcons definitely got their guy because I don't think they're in the play for Harbaugh. So great signing by the Falcons. I think he's an offensive minded head coach, so you'll get a lot better than how they did with Bijan, what Arthur Smith and Mr. Raheem Morris did with Bijan. So because he did great with what's called Judkins and the other running backs. It just sucked that they got injured. So I like the signing for the Falcons.
Yeah, I don't mind the signing for the Falcons either. I don't think Stefanski's a bad coach either. I just think the Shedeur thing, like not wanting to give him a chance, like that was just unfair. But I always saw him getting another head coaching job pretty soon, regardless if he didn't work out in Cleveland. I just didn't think he was the right coach for Cleveland. I'm not so sure he's the right offensive mind for Penix or this offense, because it seems like he likes to throw the ball a little bit. But we'll see what happens here. Again, I don't know how it's going to work out.
Yeah, I think they could either get their own guy if they don't trust Penix, or hopefully they get rid of Kirk because he altered his contract, so hopefully they can move him fast. But yeah, I mean it's a long-term deal. So if they don't believe in Penix in the first year or second year, they can always just move on from him. New regime. So
yeah, I don't know if Penix is going to be the guy there either. So we'll see what they do at quarterback. But
right. And then I think the last piece of noteworthy news was the Chargers. They got Jim Harbaugh, so they're set a head coach, but they sign offensive mastermind Mike McDaniel's did an OC job. So I believe with this, there's not many more excuses unless more injuries for Justin Herbert and the Chargers. They've had a good amount of OCs in the past. So if they can't get it done with one of the best offensive minds in the NFL, then we have to start having some more serious conversations about Herbo and this offense. But of course, last year, O-line injuries with 2 of your best tackles being out. So you get kind of a pass for last year. But if you're fully healthy and you still can't do much, not much we can help you out with there for Herbert and others. So,
I mean, I love how you just, went to say, oh, if they don't do what they're supposed to do, we're going to have these conversations about Herbert. But, we can't do anything about their getting hurt. Like, this is what happens to them a lot.
yeah.
They get hurt a lot. Like, this team gets hurt a lot. You can't, like, as much as we like to say winning is a quarterback stat, like, I think we're reaching the point in life where we all notice that, you can do all you can do as a quarterback. You can throw for, I think I've seen games where, matter of fact, let's go with that Joe Flacco to the Jets game. Joe Flacco had a monster game. Ended up losing by 1 point. Like, it's only so much you can do as the quarterback. You can have a monster game and still lose by 1 point because your defense is just that bad, or just because, you can't get anything. Sometimes you really just can't get anything going on offense because your O-line is just that bad.
Yep.
Which is why Burrow got hurt in the first place. Why Burrow keeps getting hurt. So, like, I think not to say that we need to look at it as a team game, because I think everybody does, but I think a little less pressure should go on quarterbacks and a little less credit should go to quarterbacks for wins and losses. Like game-winning drives, I feel like that's a quarterback stat. Stuff like that. Interceptions, like CJ Stroud game last week, 4 interceptions and you lose, that's a quarterback stat.
Also, wide receiver stat, like you said earlier. If they drop the ball tremendously bad, beyond them.
Clearly, if a wide receiver drops a pass and it ends up going into a defender's hand, that is a wide receiver stat as well.
Like DJ Moore, maybe at the end of the game.
But
we'll talk about
that. At the end of the day, I feel like quarterbacks need a little bit more grace than we give them, and a little bit less credit than we give them.
Yep. Because I think there's a stat like when Herbo lost against the Patriots. Oh, we've seen Matt Stafford, Peyton Manning, and Matt Ryan all start 0-3 in the playoffs, but then they bounce back tremendously. So let's give people like Herbert or others like more time, or let's not crown him too early. Let's not crown him too late, because we crowned C.J. Stroud first year. He comes to a top 5 quarterback, which he's supposed to have great confidence in himself, but then don't show up after your rookie year. So, thanks. But yeah, also I wanted to get your side of things on if Mike McDaniels is going to the Chargers like he's already signed, and Brian Daboll is getting the job potentially with the Bills, and worst case scenario, if he doesn't get the Bills, he's already set to be the Titans OC. What does that show with that for the Eagles that they can't sign an OC? Even the same OC that people like egged their house after he did terrible. Is it part of like no one wants to go there, or they do not want to work with that offense?
Every report for coaches not wanting to sign with the Eagles is the same thing. Nobody wants to work with Justin Herbert. He's that bad I don't want to say he's that bad of a quarterback, but he's just not he's not of the caliber of, Justin Herbert, which is where Mike McDaniel went. He's not of the caliber of, I don't want to say this. I think he's better than Cam Ward. But, Brian Daboll, I
hope he's better than Cam Ward.
I hope he's better than Cam Ward too, but he just doesn't want to work with Jalen Hurts because he's just not that good of a quarterback. And another thing where people don't want to go to the Eagles is Nick Sirianni is not a good coach. He's a terrible coach. He's shown it multiple times.
Daboll can mold Ward as well, so if he does go there. But yeah, I think those reports, like you said, they're saying that you'd have to run like simplified shit for Hurts. You can't do no complex offenses like what McDaniels does with his offenses. He likes to go high flying and a little bit more complex, where sometimes you can't run that shit with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, you're not like, and this is not. It's a knock on Jalen Hurts. It is what it is, man. At this point, we all realize that if you have Jalen Hurts throwing the ball 30 to 40 times a game, it's not going to be as effective if you have if you had, Justin Herbert or Joe Burrow or even Josh Allen throwing the ball 30, 40 times a game, like he's just not that. He's not that quarterback. And this goes back to the game manager comment. Like he's really just a great game manager. Like he does. And this is why I say I said this in the chat the other day. I sometimes understand Philly fans when they say that he's a better quarterback than a lot of these people, but it's like he does make the right decision a lot. So I can sit here and say his decision making is good. He doesn't throw a lot of picks. But he also doesn't throw a lot of picks because you don't trust him to throw the ball that many times. Yep. And you don't trust him to make so many accurate throws during the game. You just trust him to get the ball out on a slant or something. A nice little hitch, screen passes to Saquon, which he gets a lot of credit for those little screen passes to Saquon. And then he can take off and run, which there's nothing wrong with that. Lamar's a runner too. Mahomes is a runner too. Josh Allen's a runner too. There's nothing wrong with him being a runner. It's just that Jalen Hurts is a great game manager. He's good at making the right decision while he's in the pocket sometimes.
Yeah, because I think there was a stat that said, when he throws under 30 times a certain amount, he's in the last 2 or 3 years, he's 7-1. And then think that one loss was he had to leave the game early due to injuries, and he only threw 5 times. So, and then when he threw 30 plus attempts, he's 5-8 or something like that. I mean,
yeah,
it shows somewhat those stats.
It also shows that the fact that who do you have in their backfield? You have Saquon Barkley in the backfield. You don't need to throw the ball that many times when you have. Some would say the best running back in the league. I probably have him in my top 3, but
yeah,
a lot of people would say he's the best running back in the league. So why are you sitting here throwing the ball so many times a game? Just give it to Saquon. Let him do what he got to do.
Saquon up the middle. That really came into fruition. I don't know if you've seen those TikToks or videos. The guy is calling the place for the Eagles. 3 Saquon up the middles and then AJ Brown deep ball.
Yeah, I see it. It's not what Patullo does, and it's not what the Eagles do a lot, but I think that's why they lost this year. They diverted away from the Saquon play, and they didn't have the lineman support like they used to. Jordan Mailata didn't have such a good year this year, so
yeah.
I can't remember everybody else that they have on their line, but their center had a terrible year this year. I don't think he was healthy for a lot of the year though.
Yeah, I think Cam Jurgens was struggling like crazy.
Yeah, I forgot his name. Thank you. But yeah, their line didn't have the best year, so that's really what I think that's what held them back. As much as Patullo was not that good of a play caller, and I kind of just give that L to their line.
Yep, because we see what happens when they play with an elite O line when they're at the best. Last year's perfect example.
Yeah, they're unstoppable. So, but it is what it is. It's not my problem. They're not my favorite team. Good luck to you.
All we can do is hate watch. So hey, that is the coaching recap. We're gonna get into our divisional recap, but before we get into that, Elijah, you have snack of the week this week.
I have no camera as well, so
we're gonna guess by crunch. So let's hear it.
You're not gonna get it. Here's the bag.
Is it chips?
No.
It's like a Little Debbie, snack cake type of thing?
No. I probably used it before too, but it's the snack of my life. I'm gonna just get to it because you're not gonna get it. So anybody who really knows me very well, y'all know what my favorite candy is. I love me some Swedish fish, and I will eat Swedish fish until the day I die. I have had a lot of bags of Swedish fish this week, and I got another one right in front of me. So Swedish fish is my snack of the week, and I will be using it again in the future.
I feel like you ever used it before too.
Huh?
I feel like you did use it before already.
Listen, I will use it again. I always have some by me, at least once or twice a week. So,
do you like the blueberry one? The blueberry lemonade ones?
No, I do not.
You do not? Wow. So you're more of a regular flavor person?
Yeah, give me the regular flavor. But yeah, this is my snack of, like I said, snack of my life.
I can see that. Not a bad choice. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to get into the playoff bracket, which is updated. We are talking about the divisional round. We're going to talk about the blowout for the NFC divisional round first. Yeah, Seahawks 49ers 41-6. Not much to talk about this game. It was pretty much belt to ass. Even with Zach Charbonnet tearing his ACL, Kenneth Walker absolutely had a game and just went off. And yeah, the Seattle Seahawks off rip set the tone. Rashid Shaheed kickoff return 97 yards. And it was all smooth sailing from there for the Seahawks. And then the 49ers injuries just, yeah, I think someone else got injured in this game. CMC was banged up in this game too. They finally caught up to them, and then they just got belt ass.
I mean, the Seahawks defense was just all over Brock Purdy.
Yep.
The Seahawks defense was all over CMC. They weren't having – that offense just wasn't having a good day, and it showed. Shout out the Seahawks for coming out and playing the type of football that they needed to play. And I think I was wrong about this game. I don't remember who I picked in this game. I know who I picked in the other games, but
yeah.
Listen,
also,
shout out to the Seahawks.
I know the Eagles must be kicking themselves knowing that the Seahawks did this against the same team they faced off against.
I mean, even if the Eagles got here, the Seahawks would have did the same thing to them.
Yeah.
After watching that game, the Seahawks would have did the same exact thing to them. The Seahawks, as much as I think I still think the Texans defense is the best defense in the league. By far. But this Seahawks defense, they get to it as well. So I think anybody would have had a problem going into Seattle last week. And shout out the Seahawks for getting it done.
Yep, and once again, Sam Darnold didn't have to do much. I believe he had 125 and no passing touchdowns. He just passed for 125, and his run game, Kenneth Walker and the defense did the rest. So yeah. Great game plan.
Sam Darnold was also coming off the oblique injury, so I didn't really expect him to do much. I actually thought Drew Lock was going to start. Seeing Darnold was a pleasant surprise, but again, Rashid Shaheed set the tone with that kickoff return.
Absolutely.
And Kenneth Walker set the tone for the rest of the game with that ground impact, like he was running like a madman. Prayers out to Zach Charbonnet, speedy recovery to you. But listen, this should have been a Kenneth Walker backfield from the start. It is what it is, though. This is where we're at. Great defensive showing from the Seahawks, and it's on to the next round.
Yep. At least with Kenneth Walker, your run game's in good hands with him, with no Charbonnet. So, great job. Next up, my New England Patriots. This was an ugly game to watch from both teams' standpoints. The Patriots beat the Texans 28-16. C.J. Stroud throws 4 interceptions in the first half. I believe Drake May had 3 total turnovers, maybe 4. I know he had a couple fumbles there. But when the dust settled and the game was finally over, the Patriots win. So yeah, another ugly game by Drake May in his playoff debut. But the Houston Texans offense was just uglier. So that was enough for the Patriots to get the W.
This game was, I don't even want to say it was the Patriots defense as much as CJ was giving them the game. Drake May did have a few turnovers, I think his inexperience showed a little bit.
Yep.
And listen, the Texans defense is like I said, they're still the best defense in the league. And I think that's where Drake was turning the ball over too. I don't think it was anything else other than Drake's inexperience and the fact that the Texans defense was so good. That's the only reason why he turned the ball over. But as for CJ, he's experienced. He's been in the playoffs before. I think he has 2 or 3 playoff wins to his name already. And there's no excuse for him being so bad at the game of football last week. So shout out New England, their defense goes a little unnoticed as well. So we can talk about that as well. But I think this was CJ literally gave them the game, because if we were going into the fourth quarter, I think this was before the Kayshon Boutte one-hander. It was 16-21. This was still a game. This was still, even with those 4 interceptions in the first half, the Texans still had a shot. The defense gave up 6, and then there's only so much you can ask from the defense when they're on the field so much. And offense came back on the field and did nothing. So this game was, and this is where I say this is a game where you can put the blame on the quarterback. You can just look at it and say, yeah, this was C.J. Stroud's fault.
Yeah, this was a nasty game by C.J. Stroud, and what the first game you were able to get away with it because the Pittsburgh Steelers have no offense either, because they were relying on Arthur Smith and his 3 tight end system, and Aaron Rodgers is 40 years old. But with a team adequate on offense, not as bad as the Steelers, they definitely did not get away with it this time around.
Yeah, I thought they would still get away with it somehow because, like I said, their defense is that good. Drake May, this is his first time in the playoffs, second year in the league. But when CJ Stroud, as a quarterback, there's a few things that you cannot do if you want to win a game, and those few things that you can't do is fumble the ball and throw picks. So that's exactly not. He didn't fumble the ball, but he threw 4 picks, and it's impossible to get your offense going if every single time you get on the field, you're turning the ball right back over to the defense.
Yeah, and he didn't even have to be this was probably they always bring up this stat when the quarterback does bad. If you would have spiked the ball, they would have been a better game than what you played. You could have took away 2 picks away from CJ Stroud, and he probably would have have a better chance to win the game.
Yeah, literally, if you didn't do what you did,
yep,
basically, you didn't have to be Superman to win this game. You just had to be a good game manager. You couldn't do that. That's why y'all lost. CJ Stroud has to be better. And on top of CJ Stroud having to be better, I think the Texans should actually move on from CJ Stroud because this was an ugly year. And when Davis Mills stepped in, he played better than CJ Stroud.
Because his option is this offseason, the 5th year, I think.
And listen, there's a few quarterbacks that I think are better than CJ Stroud who are
31,
probably
like Orlovsky said.
Huh?
31, like Dan Orlovsky said on ESPN.
No, but I think there's a few quarterbacks that are willing to move on from whatever situation they're in that are better than CJ Stroud and will give you a better shot than CJ Stroud did. Not gonna say Aaron Rodgers, but there's some options out there that you can attack.
That's true. So Kyler Murray.
I mean, Kyler Murray is an option. I think he is better than CJ Stroud. I also think Tua is better than CJ Stroud, but I'm not trying to just go with those two, who are most likely to be free agents. I'm talking about the guys that are probably willing to move away from the team that they're currently with just because there's nothing going for them
there. Right. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. So Patriots move on. Tough, very, very, very tough. Oh wait, did you see what Stroud said in the post-game conference?
I saw it. I don't want to address it because that was just a terrible excuse.
It was hilarious. I've never seen anyone say that before. My defense was too good, yada yada. But because D'Amico Ryans did say that he has full support in him, so I think he was just saying that just because he's a coach and he's supposed to say that in public. But I'm pretty sure, behind the scenes, they're saying, "What's our options at quarterback now?" They got to be looking at different options, or at least not fully going after, but at least doing the research on what they could possibly do to fix this. But yeah, after that first year, just struggles. After that conversation with Caleb Williams on the Monday Night Football game, downhill. So, let's see. Next up. Do we want? Let's talk about Rams and Bears up next. This was one hell of a game. Went to overtime. Caleb Williams once again struggled with 3 interceptions early, but then hero ball near the end. Yeah, this was not much offense in this game. I believe Stafford didn't throw for anything. The run game, Kyren Williams had 2 touchdowns and 100 yards. But near the end of the fourth quarter, I believe it was on 4th down, Caleb Williams runs away from the pass rush. 2 defenders in his face. He rushes back 10 yards. Gets a heave. I don't know what Kobe Durant was doing in the Rams. He miscalculates his jump, and Cole Kmet is open for the touchdown, and they kick a field goal to go to overtime. And in overtime, Caleb throws a crucial interception while driving down the field. Rams go down the field, kick a field goal to win. So, yeah, very, very tough game for Bears and company, but one hell of a year.
Yeah, great year for the Bears and Caleb Williams specifically. Caleb just can't afford to turn the ball over twice like he did. I mean, 3 times. Sorry, like he did.
Yep.
Other than that, Matthew Stafford threw for 258. Like he plays well in the cold. He just didn't have any tutties this week. Kyron Williams got it done on the ground. There's nothing else to say about this game except that the Rams did their job and they had a solid game.
Right.
I think what happened to Kobe Durant at the end of that game when Caleb Williams threw that ball, like I think he just misjudged the ball in the air. It happens sometimes. I think he misjudged it. He saw it come out and he was like, "Oh, he thought it had." I think he just thought it had less under it.
Yeah.
And it just made its way over his head. So I'm not gonna hold that against him. It is what it is. The Bears, I'm glad they found a way to really make this a game because it wasn't looking good to start. Like that first drive from the Rams looked like, oh, this is going to be a long ass day for the Bears.
Yeah, Pugo's terrible.
But they got it together. I forgot his name, but I know his last name, Brisket or whatever, from the Bears. Jaquan Brisker, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was hooping. He had a great game, and I was like, he's all over the place. He was like, if they would have won, he would have been my MVP because he was the reason that defense was so good after a while. So,
yeah. Also, do you think the Bears should have won for 2 before overtime instead of kick the field goal?
Do I think they should have won for 2
instead of the PAT?
You can always say yes, but at that part of the field, that's the hardest to score. Inside the 5-yard line is the hardest to score because, like, once that defense, if the defense goes into a zone, there's not really anywhere that you can hide a receiver, or a receiver can just find a way to get open sometimes. If you're dropping 6, 7 back in coverage, so wow. If you're dropping 7 people back in coverage or 6 people back in coverage, and then you rushing 4 or 5, like it's not anywhere a receiver can really hide. So, and the Rams defense is not something that, like, they're not a defense that's just going to lay over and give you whatever. So, I think kicking the field goal was the right option. I also think that he went for it twice earlier in the game.
Yep.
First half, those were the wrong decisions where he could have kicked 2 field goals right there, and we're looking at a completely different score. Especially like on the first drive of the game, it was 4th and 3. You're inside the 30 or you're inside the 20. Like that's
yeah.
It's a low point kick for
they
that.
had trouble converting on 4th downs this entire game. I think they were like 1 for 7, like 1 for 6. They were struggling on 4th down.
Yeah, there was no reason to go for it that many times on 4th down. Like I know that the kicker was he's like a rookie or something. I don't remember his name. Let me see. What's his name?
Was it Cairo Santos?
It's Cairo Santos.
It's Cairo Santos. Yeah, I was like, yeah.
You can trust him to kick the ball. I don't understand why you weren't just leaning on him or letting him kick. I know he misses kicks sometimes, but like he made one from 48.
They did not want a Cody Parkey situation, double doink out of nowhere.
Either way, it was 0-0 earlier in the game. You went for it and didn't get it, so it's the same result as if he would have missed that kick anyway.
Right.
So I was kind of looking at that like, hey, I think I would have went for it right. I would have kicked it right there. You went for it. I'm not going to sit here and knock your decision. You must have saw something I didn't see. But same result. So
yeah. Also, did you see that pick for DJ Moore and Caleb on an OT? Apparently, he did not run the right route, or he was like jogging most of the route before that.
I did not. I had fell asleep on Sunday. I had somewhere else to be, and I couldn't.
So apparently, there was a lot of miscommunication on that route that led to the pick for Caleb Williams and DJ Moore. It showed in the beginning of the route that DJ Moore was jogging for the start of it. So I don't know if there's tension between those guys, but
I mean, I don't want to. There's no reason to speculate any of that right now. Like, there's no reports that have been coming out, so like, I don't want to speculate that there's tension between anybody. Like this, it's not my team anyway. I don't really care.
True.
So like,
hey, fair enough.
It's interesting to see what happens, but I don't like speculating.
I like their mentality at the end of the game. The Bears, even though they lost. Ben Johnson said this is not a stepping stone. We lost. We have to go back to square one. And then Caleb Williams had the same tone. So they know they have to do better if they want to get a deeper playoff run. So Nice mindset for the Bears. And the final game we're talking about for the divisional round, this was a doozy, another overtime game. The Broncos 33, Bills 30 went to overtime. Josh Allen had a total of 5 turnovers, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember actually.
It was 4 to 5 turnovers. We'll say that.
I know he had 2 picks.
Yeah, 'cause I know he had a fumble before the half as well. We'll say 4 to 5 to be safe. I know it was one of those 2 numbers. But yeah, during the game,
He had 3 fumbles and he lost 2 of them.
2
He had
fumbles.
2 picks and then he lost 2 fumbles, so that's 4 turnovers.
4. Okay, so 4. Yeah. So yeah, 4 turnovers. Which
I remember that fumble though. That was
before half. Oof. He just threw it back. That was nasty. So yeah, honestly, I'm not. I mean, with the interception to Cooks, that was just a bang bang weird officiating call play. So I'm not putting too much on Josh Allen for that one. But yeah, how'd you feel about that call? The Cooks interception.
By the time Brandon Cooks was on his back, he didn't have possession of the ball anymore. I heard there was a rule where it's a timing thing, where you got to have possession of the ball for 2 seconds. He did not have possession of the ball. Everybody's looking at the slow-mo like, oh, he had possession of that ball. No. In real time, that was not even a second that he had possession of that ball. He made the initial catch, yes, but he went straight down to the ground.
You got to survive the ground, right?
No possession. Huh?
Is there a rule we have to survive the ground? Make sure it stays in place while you're...
Yes, that rule is also in place too. He did not survive the ground, obviously, because I forgot who the corner was that ended up with the ball, but
yeah. But yeah, after all that, they went to OT.
Jaquan McMillan, my fault.
McMillan.
Jaquan McMillan ended up with the ball as soon as they got to the ground, and he ended up controlling the possession. So and it's a completely different call from the Devontae Adams one because Devontae technically made a football move.
Yep, Cook went right to the ground. Adams did some movement and then went to the ground.
Yeah, and then he lost the ball after his knee was down. He had possession of the ball. He technically survived. So, listen, both calls were right to me. And I get why people, especially Bills fans were enraged, Even Bears fans were probably enraged because, it was the same play as yesterday. No, it wasn't. It wasn't the same play.
Yeah, and now they're 0-3 in the OT rules ever since they got changed in OT.
Well, they changed the OT rules for Josh Allen. They gave him a chance, and Josh Allen sold. And it's you can sit here and say, that play was the turning of the tide. No, it wasn't. He missed Dawson Knox for a game.
Oh, yeah, the touchdown? He would have walked right in.
He missed him for game. That would have been the game right there.
And fair enough. You already had 3 turnovers before that, so it's not like
exactly. It was a 10-10. It was a 10-10 game. And it was 13 seconds before half. The Broncos got an easy touchdown. Bo Nix took a shot. Okay, he took a chance. He just threw it up there. And who was it? Was that LaJordan Humphrey that came up with that ball? That was just he just threw a bomb. They got the touchdown. The first offensive play coming out of the Bills getting back the ball, Josh Allen turns the ball over. And it put the Broncos in field goal range. So now instead of it being a 10-17 game, where I think the Bills got the ball right out of the half, it's now a 10-20 game, and now you're in a bigger hole because it's a 2-possession game. It's just we're not going to sit here and pin it on this one play. There's a lot of things that went wrong for Buffalo that didn't have to go wrong, but they did.
Yep.
Yeah, just have to be better.
Yep, and Josh Allen has to be better. That's your reigning MVP. 4 turnovers in a championship. Going to a championship game is inexcusable, and that cost Sean McDermott his job apparently. Even though I don't know if you saw the Bills press conference the day after, but yeah, they're pretty much putting no blame on the GM who got promoted, by the way, who gave a lack of weapons to Josh Allen, and they basically put everything on Sean McDermott. Even though there's clips of the GM saying he was fond of Keon Coleman in the draft, yada, yada, yada. So they were just basically just trying to play the blame game and scapegoating McDermott. Even though I think he should have been gone for sure, but not putting any blame on the GM is kind of wild with the lack of weapons he was provided ever since Diggs left.
I mean, you can play the blame game all you want. The real blame goes to the players here because, like, you have a good enough roster. Like, there's no way you make the playoffs without this roster, right? I think you were a game behind the division lead. Did they finish 11-6 or 11-6?
The Patriots finished. Oh, where is it? I thought they'd be on the screen. I think the Bills were 2 games less than the Patriots. The Patriots had 14-3.
The Bills finished 12-5. You don't win 12 games in this league without having a good roster.
Yes.
You don't win 11 games, 10 games. You don't make the playoffs without having a good roster, right? Yep. Sometimes you can skate by on your, strength of schedule, which everybody likes to blame the Patriots for doing. But, like, you don't make the playoffs, especially the Bills, who had a tough schedule. You don't make the playoffs without a good roster. So at the end of the day, I think when you fall short in the playoffs, you have to look at the players more than you have to look at the coaching staff. Because they did put up 30 points, but the defense gave up 33.
Yeah.
And Josh Allen did turn the ball over 4 times. So it's like you cannot sit here and look at McDermott. Like, don't get me wrong, I think McDermott had to go too. But, like, you cannot look at McDermott and say, oh, yeah, this is all your fault. Like, no, it's not.
Yeah. I agree.
Sometimes as a coach or as a GM, you look at a player that you want to draft and you're just wrong about him. Okay? The Chiefs were wrong about I think they're wrong about Xavier Worthy, The Bills just so happen to be wrong about Keon Coleman. Happens all the time. Yep. So Browns were wrong about Dylan Gabriel. Sorry. I was gonna keep going down a list, but I wanted to talk.
Because I don't know if you saw the draft for that before. Like, apparently the receivers picked before Keon Coleman were also struggling. Marvin Harrison Jr. has been able to put up good seasons together. I forgot who else was picked before them, but yeah, apparently someone did the research. Those receivers are struggling as well. So, it is what it is. Do you think the Bills do need a solid wide receiver 1, though?
They do need a solid wide receiver 1, and it's been a problem since they lost Diggs. But they thought that Diggs was the problem in being that he's a diva who wants the ball all the time. Like, no, that's just a wide receiver 1 thing. AJ Brown is the same way, and there's other receivers that are out there just not being so. Like, Garrett Wilson wants the ball. He's just diplomatic and not complaining about it to the media.
Right.
But all wide receiver 1s are gonna want the ball.
Yep.
And for good reason, because now once you did trade away Stephon Diggs, you were thrown into a committee and had no one guy that could just step up and take over. So listen, they need a wide receiver 1. What's your problem? I don't think Keon Coleman's going to stay on this team. So
true. After what they said about him in the press conference, I think he's cooked. Yeah, you have to trade him at this point. If you said everything bad about him in the press conference and with no accountability, you got to trade him. Yeah. And then for Denver, great game, but near the end of the game, Bo Nix, what's it called? He breaks a bone in his ankle and will not be able to compete the rest of the playoffs. That's a tough loss after such a great game versus the Bills. And now they got to go to they got a trip to the Super Bowl on the line, and they got to go with Jarrett Stidham, which the players are confident about, and Sean Payton, since he said that he can be a starter on like some low end team. So they have faith in Jarrett Stidham. We just gotta see how it pans out.
Yeah, I think it'll pan out well. Actually, we're not talking about predictions here, but yeah, Bo Nix broke his ankle. They said it was on the kneel down, and
damn.
I don't know how it happened, but it happened. And speedy recovery to Bo Nix. Terrible time for it to happen, but hey, we're here, and gotta rely on Stiddy.
Yep. So hey, let's get into our championship Sunday picks. Let's go with a AFC first. Patriots heading to to Denver, which they don't have great history with, and they also don't have great history dealing with backup quarterbacks or not very how can I say this? Starter worthy quarterbacks or elite quarterbacks. Yeah, not elite quarterbacks. Yeah. They have a very bad history with those type of quarterbacks and basically at Denver. So it's a perfect mix of an upset. This is their third team that they're facing with an elite defense. So far, they faced the Chargers, who have the fifth best defense in the league. The Texans have number 2 or 1, and then the Broncos have 1. So yet again, they're facing elite defense. And with Drake May facing playoff troubles, I think he's had like 3-4 turnovers in 2 combined games. It's going to be another stiff test for the Patriots in May. But you know what? You know where I'm going with. I'm wearing the hoodie. I got to go with my guys until they're out. Yeah, I'm going with Patriots. I think it's going to be a closer game than expected, but this is going to be a dogfight just like the first 2 matchups. But I'm going with the better offense in this one.
Okay, that's fair. I know that John is going for the Patriots as well. Everybody's looking at the Patriots like, Jarrett Stidham is a backup quarterback, blah, blah, blah. I'm actually going to go against the grain here. And this is not even to avoid the curse, I genuinely think that Jarrett Stidham can get the job done. The only thing that makes me nervous about the Patriots, and I'm not mad either way, like whatever happens, happens. But the only thing that makes me nervous about the Patriots is that literally Drake May just had a couple turnovers last week against the Texans defense. And I don't know what the rankings were for the defenses. I think the Seahawks had the best defense, but I think the Broncos were second. And like I said, I think the Texans are the best defense, me personally. I'm not saying that they are. The eye test for me, I go with the Patriots. But the stats go with Denver and they go with Seattle before not the Patriots, the Texans. So that being said, I'm gonna roll with Denver here. And I don't think the drop off from Bo Nix to Jarrett Stidham is that good. I mean, it is that big. So I think Jarrett Stidham can get the job done. His first start with the Raiders, he played amazing. So
yep. I believe he hasn't thrown a pass since 2023 as well.
Probably hasn't thrown a pass in game since 2023, but he's thrown plenty of passes in practice. Don't get me wrong; like they still practice with each other. So.
Yeah, I think one of the players said he was doing great during scout team runs. So we will see. I mean, the Patriots have lost to Nick Foles, Eli Manning, and Mark Sanchez, so it's definitely possible for an upset here.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
And finally, NFC Championship. Of course, it's going to come down to the NFC West rivals. We get Rams versus Seahawks Part 3. Obviously, a lot of eyes are going to be at Sam Darnold's oblique and how he can perform. And the top Seattle defense, they've been balling lately. And the Rams have a chance to go to another Super Bowl with Matt Stafford. Electric offense with Tay, Puka, and Kyron Williams. They also have a good defense of their own. So, yeah, and these two know each other well, more than any other team in the playoff besides the 49ers. So it's going to be, hopefully, I'm glad this is the ending game of the night since this is going to be a lot better of a game, hopefully. So, yeah, who you got?
I hate to do this because the Seahawks have been so good this year, but I got to I got to go with the Rams here. And it's solely because of watching the Rams. I know that they're great against the run. Not so great against the pass, but they're great against the run. And I think with this Sam Darnold injury, they're going to have to, they're going to try to do the same thing they did last week. They're going to try to lean on the run. I think the Rams are run stoppers. And I think that the Rams offense is good enough to combat the Seahawks defense. Like, a lot of the people the Seahawks face, don't get me wrong, they played twice this year already. But the only team that the Seahawks faced in the playoffs was the 49ers. The 49ers don't have necessarily that good of a pass game. Like, they're throwing to freaking Jawan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall, and a backup tight end who also got hurt. So,
and Christian McCaffrey 20 times.
Yeah, Jake Tong. But Jake Tong just, I don't know how to say his last name, but he got hurt as well. So. Like, that offense really had no weapons, nobody to get open, as the Rams have Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, and they also have Tyler Higbee. Their run game.
All 3 tight ends are good.
Huh?
All 3 tight ends, Ferguson, Parkinson, and Higbee.
Yeah, so, and on top of that, I think the Rams have a better run game than the 49ers. And granted, Kyron Williams is a fumble machine, but Blake Corum isn't, and Blake Corum's a dog. So I'm going to roll with the Rams here, only because I don't trust Sam Darnold to win Seattle this game. Now, I'm fine if I'm proven wrong, but I'm going to roll with the Rams.
Yeah. I'm going Rams as well, just because I experience. Stafford's been here before. The Rams has been here before. Uh, I trust I trust Matt Stafford more than Sam Darnold. And I believe the last time these guys faced off, I believe Stafford had like 400, 500 yards, maybe one of the greatest games of his career against this team. So if they need to sling it, Matt Stafford can do that especially against this top defense who we carved up before. So there's definitely hopes for Stafford against this Seattle's defense. And yeah, this is going to be like once again, like I said last week, it's going to be on Sam Darnold. Can he have a legacy game? They really did not need him last week for the 49ers. You're definitely going to be needed for this game versus the Rams, especially with, like you said, great run defense. The Rams' pass defense is suspect with their corners, Durant, and especially Emmanuel Forbes if he's playing, because he has been very sketchy throughout the year. If Sam Darnold can torch this Rams secondary, it could do great things for them. But like I said, I trust Stafford more than Darnold, so I'm going with experience and a Super Bowl winner in his own right. I'm going with the Rams as well.
Well, yeah, Stafford threw for 457 and 3 last time they played. The Rams really lost because of that nonsense 2-point conversion.
Yep.
And they only lost by 1. So, it'll be a this is gonna be a great game, bro. I can't wait to watch this game. I know New England, Denver's probably gonna be a good one as well. I'm not taking nothing away from them, but this is going to be, I think, game of the year.
Yeah.
And hopefully I'm not proven wrong by a blowout.
Yeah, it's gonna be 41-6 yet again. Imagine if we see Rashid Shaheed return a kick again to start off the game, we better just turn off the television at that point. Like we know what's about to happen. Oh,
yeah, but that's all I got, man. I'm Denver, LA Super Bowls. What I see happening, I'm hope I'm not wrong. I think you got Patriots LA and John has Patriots LA as well.
yeah. I had Denver and LA before the Bo Nix injury because I had the Patriots losing to the Broncos in the conference championship. But with the Bo Nix injury, I think that changes up a bit. So I think the Patriots can take advantage of that. So,
Hey, man, let's see what happens.
So hey, last words before we head out.
Same last words as always, man. Drink that water, get your money, stay prayed up, man, and stay safe if you're in this tri-state area because we do have a terrible storm coming this weekend, apparently. So,
Absolutely, I agree. Stay warm, stay bundled. I believe it's hitting us Saturday.
it's getting us on Sunday.
Okay, yeah. So Friday, Saturday, get your stuff. Go shopping. Get the stuff you need, so you don't have to any excuse to be outside of your warm home or whatever you reside at on Friday, Saturday. So, and best of luck anyone that gets caught up in the weather as well. Last words from me. Hey, appreciate the support. Appreciate tuning in. Tobias, Asan, thank you for tuning in. And hey, just like a reminder, like I said at the beginning of the pod, we will be covering NBA and WWE and might be covering some other sports after NFL concludes in 2 weeks. So just a reminder, yeah, we talk more than NFL. This is just the NFL day. We try to cover as much as we can. And just a reminder, just because NFL is done doesn't mean we're done. There's a lot more stuff to talk about. NBA, I think All-Star Weekend / All-Star Break is coming up soon. MLB, there's a lot of news coming out, especially with the damn Dodgers. March Madness is in 2 months, close to 2 months, that as well. So yeah, a lot of different things to talk about. And also NFL draft is in April, so we'll probably do another mock draft. So hey, feel free to stay tuned into everything. Follow all the socials to stay up to date. If you want to listen to us instead of watch us. All the audio platforms are down below: Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, and Spotify for podcasters. Feel free to stay tuned to our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Which we are live right now. Stay up to date with everything. Follow our gaming channel at YouTube, Ball Central Gaming, to check out our gaming content. Also follow the Twitch channel, like we are on right now, for the unedited gaming content, like also random streams. It depends. I think Also, MLB comes out soon. I'm gonna try to give MLB one last try, and then if I still can't be successful on the big leagues, I probably have to retire, hang the jersey up. I'll probably leave it to Elijah, who's a lot better. So I'll leave it to him and TJ.
Yeah, we also I mean, I feel like I told you this. This is casual conversation, by the way. At this point, I got the Twins. Well, I got one of the Twins on the game. We got Austin on the game now. He's getting better. I played him the other day. I think I beat him 4-zip. One hit him, but
Damn.
He's getting better though. I think TJ did him worse. And TJ played him, I think, last month or 2 months ago. So
damn. Also, hey, shout out to the Great Twins. Feel free to follow them on TikTok. I believe that's their social. Yeah, that should be
Twins gaming or something like that. But
yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're good. Anything else?
No, man, I'm good.
Okay, so with that being said, that is the NFL pod for this week. We will see y'all for the recorded live on Saturday for the WWE. Probably have our Unreal reactions there, and probably recap the latest in the WWE world. And I think Royal Rumble coming up soon, either this week or next week. Probably the next week or the week after. So yeah, definitely a lot to talk about. And hey, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Baller Central. And we out. Deuces.
Did you feel this way when you fell in love with G?
Oh, look. I felt that way lots of times.
He's a producer?
Hey, I'm looking for Mrs. Bubblegum. Yeah, you know I need the sweet love, cocoa butter kisses that I could only dream of. Making people want the love we have when they see us. I love ya, I want ya, girl, I really need ya. Is it real? Is it real? See, I don't wanna question it. Is it real? Is it real? I think that's a definite. I thank God every day, cause yeah, she really heaven sent. See, God don't make mistakes. My baby's really evidence. Kisses on the cheek that I can't get enough of. You keep the smile on my face from sun up to sun up. I take you out on dates and I could buy you roses. See, I know this ain't perfection, but this really the closest. The fussing and the fighting isn't necessary. The Valentine's for us is not only in February. Anything you want, man, you can get it out of me. See, I just ask for loyalty, man. Show me that you down for me.